All right. Good evening, everybody. Happy Tuesday. It's so great to see your faces. I bet if you watched every single recording every Tuesday night, I probably say the exact same thing in the exact same sing-songy tone every week. And I'm thinking, oh, how annoying is that? But I really am genuinely excited to see you guys on Tuesday nights. Like when all of your faces light up the board like holiday squares. Hollywood
Hollywood,
squares.
Hollywood.
Thanks. Sounds like Hollywood squares. I get excited. Irene, it's great to see your face. We have been cheering for you on the sidelines, and so it's great to see you. Vicky, were you able to find your sound? Can you hear us now? Oh, maybe. Okay. All right. So here we are. It's Tuesday. We are not going to cover any announcements tonight. Those are on your news tab. There is not really anything that has come out that I don't think we haven't discussed. So visit your news tab to update yourself with anything that is newsworthy. Tax documents, I forgot to mention this, I think last week, but tax documents are on your accounts tab in your workstation. If you made more than $600 with Scentsy last year for 2023, your 1099 is posted in the My Account section of your workstation if you scroll to the very bottom. Not virtual, SFR period, should be opening up. The registration should be opening up before we talk again next. So I haven't seen anything telling me otherwise that it won't open on the 19th. So that is on your radar. Remember that registering for SFR, whether virtual or in person, in the month of February is what checks your February box for the 20-year incentive. So if it opens on the 19th, you'll have about 10 days to register to check that box. There will be a payment plan for SFR. So keep that in mind as well. You do not have to pay the full cost up front. There is a payment plan option. And just trying to think if there's anything else. There's still a healthy supply of dryer sheets in the whiff boxes for February. So if somebody falls in love with those dryer sheets because you've been doing the little genius tip and letting people product test them, your customers still have the ability to get the dryer sheets this month in the whiff box. The supply is still healthy. No, I think I saw a chat that says, do we know a price point? Has there been a price point yet, Josh, for SFR? No, but it's typically around $350. Might be a tiny bit more than that this year. I don't believe it will be more than $400, but and that registration cost includes everything except for your food, your travel, and your lodging. But anything else that's SFR related, that covers. So all of the sessions, all of the giveaways, all of the trainings, the opening night party at Universal Studios is included in that. So any swag that you receive ahead of time for SFR, that registration fee covers everything except for food, lodging, and travel. So I was really excited. I know I speak on behalf of the leaders. I was really excited to see how many of you commented on our graphics on the group page about in-person SFR or virtual SFR. That is a really, really great, what's the word I'm looking for? A great number of you, I guess. Like I was really, really excited to see how many of you are entertaining the idea of attending SFR in person. Or certainly if you're not attending in person, you really don't have much of a reason. Sorry, I'm just going to say it. You don't have much of a reason not to register for virtual because you get to watch it from home. And so if you're not attending, I'd like to see many, many more of you attend that virtual reunion. But remember, those experiences are vastly different. Watching something over your computer screen is quite different than experiencing it in person. So anyhow, still exciting nonetheless to see how many of you are anticipating either attending in person or registering for virtual. So before we talk again, that registration should be going live. Okay. All right. So we are in Personal Development Week, and we've been trying, as a leadership team, we've been trying to create more of a well-rounded training portfolio for you guys on a monthly basis. And we've been trying to use 1 week out of each month to kind of focus on some personal development. And it's kind of our own reminder, maybe just like how I started off the call saying we celebrate each other, not just for Scentsy wins, but for everything. And we have the ability to speak to each other and train each other and learn from each other in ways that aren't necessarily Scentsy related also. Personal development is important. Self-care is important. How we take care of ourselves is important, because if we're not good for ourselves, we're not good for anybody else. And so we've been trying to highlight some personal development on a monthly basis. And here we are, Personal Development Week. This week, we are talking about mindset and positive mindset, and how your mindset can impact so many aspects that you may not even realize. So the first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to share a clip with you. Just a little clip to get us started. And then we'll go from there. So let me share my screen and share my sound. And come on. All right. And Cassie, you're on my screen. So if you'll just give me a thumbs up when you can hear it.
You have got to change the way you think. It is the whole determining factor of where you go in life. We are all where we are today because we thought ourselves to this position. If you don't like the position, think yourself out of it. Your brain is divided into two halves, positive.
You cannot hear it?
No, I could hear it, but I don't know if you were seeing my thumbs, so.
Got it. Okay. All right, let's try this again. Sorry, guys.
To change the way you think. It is the whole determining factor of where you go in life. We are all where we are today because we thought ourselves to this position. If you don't like the position, think yourself out of it. Your brain is divided into two halves, positive and negative, good and evil. It don't function on nothing else. Ain't no neutral ground in your brain. It's either positive and good or negative and evil. Each half of your brain has millions of factory workers on each side. At the forefront of each one of those factories in your brain is a foreman. You are in charge. You're the boss of the factory. Guess what? We are how we think. You can't make a world, but you can make your own world. So now, since your brain is in two halves, let me show you how this works. You wake up in the morning and you say, man, I don't feel myself today. Foreman negative hears that. He said, hey, the boss just woke up and said he's not a morning person. He's having a bad day today. Let's get to work. The million factory workers start producing thoughts to justify what you just said. So now guess what? Man, I hate my alarm clock went off this morning. I got to get out here in this traffic. I'm going to drive down here today. I don't even like these people on my job. I can't stand this ragged ass car. And on and on. And your day starts tumbling into what you ordered. You could wake up in the morning and you say, you know what? Today is going to be a great day. He said, what did you say? You said, I said, I'm having a great day today. Foreman positive turns around and goes, all right, let me have your attention. Steve's having a great day today. He's expecting some wonderful things to happen. And man, let's get it going. And they start manufacturing thoughts. Man, I can't wait to go to work today. It may not be the job I want, but at least I got a job. I'm so grateful I got a car to drive to work today. Hey, man, at least I got a check coming in. Man, this is going to be great today. Same brain. That's how your mind works. 24/7. It never turns off. Change your attitude, you change your altitude.
Therapy for me came at a time that was really pivotal. Becoming a new father, I needed more support.
Okay. Change your attitude, change your altitude. And I was like, man, that's a good point. I love that. So let me read to you a couple of things. And I want you just to listen for a minute. Okay. Just look at me. You can even close your eyes. Just listen for a minute. I want to read you a couple of things. I want you to feel how your body feels. If you have a noticeable change in your body based on what I am saying to you. Okay? Noticeable change. Excited to announce our new Scentsy collection. These fragrances are sure to brighten up your home and lift your spirits. Message me to place your order and bring some joy into your life today. Struggling to make sales this month with my Scentsy business. Feeling discouraged and wondering if it's even worth it anymore. Hashtag frustrated. Just had an amazing Scentsy party with friends. Loved sharing our favorite scents and memories. Grateful for the connections made and the fun we had together. Let's do it again soon. Hashtag community. Another canceled Scentsy party. Feeling like I'm spinning my wheels and getting nowhere. Hashtag disappointment. Feeling so grateful for this opportunity to be part of the Scentsy family. Not only do I get to enjoy these incredible products myself, but I also get to share them with others and make a positive impact. Thank you, Scentsy. Feeling overwhelmed with inventory and my expenses in my Scentsy business. Is it supposed to be this difficult? Hashtag stressed. Received such heartwarming feedback from a customer who loved their Scentsy order. It's moments like these that remind me why I do what I do. Making people happy with fragrance is the best feeling ever. Hashtag customer love. Or just got some negative feedback from a customer about their Scentsy order. Feeling defeated and questioning my abilities. Hashtag Scentsy fail. Okay. Those are just Scentsy related Facebook style posts. Okay. Think for a second which consultant you would choose to do business with. Which consultant would you choose to buy from? I know your answer. I know everybody's answer. But then it's time for us to turn around and look at ourselves and look at what we are posting and say, which consultant am I? Now, this is not to say we don't have tough days. This is not to say we don't get frustrated, we don't get stressed, we don't get overwhelmed. It's not to say any of that. But what it is to say is, how do we what does our mindset tell us on how we handle those difficult situations or those frustrating moments? Like, for instance, you can still say, I had a setback today, but I'm choosing to see it as an opportunity to learn and grow. Failure is just a stepping stone to success. That is a completely different statement than saying, I have failed, or I am that is a completely different statement than saying, can't believe how unfair life is sometimes. Everything seems to be going wrong lately. Or celebrating small victories today. Finished a challenging project and feeling proud of my progress. Remember to acknowledge and celebrate your wins, no matter how small. Instead of, everything is so hard. Can't we just stick to what we know and have everything stop changing? Again, there's a feeling. Like when I read through some of these Facebook posts, my body reacts unconsciously to what I'm reading. Like if it's a positive post, my body feels light, my body feels happy, I'm like, yeah, like, all right, I see you, I feel you. And then I read the post that has a negative undertone or a heavy negative tone. And all of a sudden my body is like, I feel heavy, or I feel tense, or I feel like, my mindset is not in the right place. And what's interesting, and did you know this, that social media algorithms, of course, know the type of material or the type of posts that you interact with. So they actually have done a study where they had somebody scrolling their Facebook feed and interacting with positive posts, and somebody who was only looking for negative posts in their feed and only interacting with those negative posts. scrolling past the positive ones and only interacting with the negative ones. Well, the algorithm ends up putting in your feed more of what you interact with. So if you are interacting with the negative posts, all of a sudden you're going to see a lot more of them. What does that do for your mindset? If every time you picked up your Facebook feed or your social media and you went in there and it was constantly people saying life is not fair, I am failing at everything, I'm not good enough, what does that do to you but bring you down? Because that's what you're consuming, that's what you're bringing in. And then all of a sudden you will start, because our body is our brains are like a supercomputer, right? You're programming it that's the space that you're living in, is consuming this material that's negative, and all of a sudden your supercomputer brain is programmed to put out into the world what you are consuming. It's fascinating. So especially when we turn around and we point the fingers at ourselves and say, what am I putting out there and how can it be read? And again, I want to be very clear that I am not, though I am a positive person, and you know that, pretty happy by nature, I'm not selling you this whole concept of toxic positivity. Yeah, I know that that's a social media term for, oh, you're so happy and rainbows and butterflies all the time. And sometimes life is hard and we're allowed to say that it is. I don't disagree. I don't disagree. There are things that come our way that literally knock us off our horses. But it's how we choose to handle them. It's how we choose to talk about them. I can say the same thing in two completely different posts with the same message getting across. But I can leave somebody feeling uplifted, or I can leave somebody feeling like, I'm going to flush your day down the drain along with mine. Tammy, would now be a good time for you to jump in with some of your...
Yeah, I can. So today when we were talking about this topic, I was at an appointment. I was just jotting down some points that came to mind when thinking about positive mindset and how sometimes we can all get in our own head. I think we've all been guilty about that in some form or fashion. And so I put transform fear into faith. Any fear you have won't let you move further. So whether it's fearful that you can't recruit, or you can't sell enough, or you can't talk to somebody on the phone, you're right. And so you have to move past that fear, or you're never going to get further with your business. And this is bigger. It's not just in our business, it's in life. But since we're talking about our business tonight, I want to focus more on that. You know, a lot of times we'll say things like, I don't want to talk to that person. They're not going to want to buy from me because I'm a younger consultant, or I'm not as popular as the other ones. Or you can put any comment in there. But instead, what you need to do is you need to turn it around and say, instead, this person would love to buy from me because I'm positive. And these are the things that we tell ourselves. If we're telling ourselves the negative things, that's what we believe. So you really have to push forward that. Greatness isn't achieved by worrying what everyone thinks of you. Let that settle in. I mean, they're not paying the bills, but a lot of times when we see these things or we hear comments, we get so in our head that we can't move past it. Concentrate on yourself. That's the only person you're competing with is yourself. Keep positive things in your head and keep acting and moving forward. Switch off the noise. And even sometimes if that means unfollowing some people. Sometimes social media is great, but it can be your worst enemy too. Like you can be in the most positive mindset and you're like, oh my God, I was so great. I sold $500, and unknowingly you log in and somebody's bragging about, oh, I just sold 5,000 for the month. And you all of a sudden get in your head and it's negative. And so you're not competing with them. You're competing with yourself. And if it's getting to you, then sometimes you just need to unfollow. There is nothing wrong with unfollowing and keeping the people around you positive. you can't control everything, but you can control yourself and how you respond to things. When you can't control things, you're vulnerable. And when you're vulnerable, you start to believe the negative thoughts that you hear. I think it's Becca Levi that says what the little icky, what is it that she says? The little icky.
That's when you start listening to the itty bitty icky committee.
Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, don't let that happen. When you're vulnerable, you will start to believe those negative thoughts. And you know what? Failure happens. Failure is not meant to define you. It's meant to refine you. Every time you have a failure or a setback, you're going to learn from it. And so continue to focus on what you can control. Being positive. I know we have friendships and we have the best intentions and connections, but relationships play the most critical role in our lives. And so supporting each other's success really in turn makes you more successful. So always be supportive and don't compare. Be happy for them. Appreciate everybody's individuality. Just because they seem to be more successful in one area doesn't mean that they're not envious of you because you're doing something better. And so share those successes, because the more that you share those successes and celebrate each other, the more positive you're going to be. And so you always want to surround yourself with more positive people. And there was a quote that said, one person in pursuit of excellence raises the standards of everyone around them. I mean, let that set in. I mean, if we're all wanting success and we're all surrounding each other with successful people, it just raises the bar. Nobody wants to be around the negative people that Melissa mentioned, or around those people that have that always woe is me type attitude. So find those successful people and those positive people and surround yourself with them. Don't underestimate the power of dreams. When you have a dream, it means you have enough power to go after it. Stay strong in support of your goals. Don't give up. And turn the mindset of failure one of learning. There is always a lesson to be learned in a failure or a setback to make the comeback even stronger the next time. You'll get better with every single misstep or conflict that you come up across. And so try and stay positive. So I'll stop from there. I can go on to others, but.
Well, there's a couple things that stand out to me. So first is when you say support each other's success and appreciate each other's individuality. I think we do a very, now, if I'm wrong, call me out on it, you guys. I think we do a very great job within our community of supporting one another and cheering for one another. I know, and I'm going to call one person out. This is not because there aren't amazing other greatnesses, but this person stands out to me. It's Wendy. So she's right in the middle of my screen. If you ever notice, and I notice, Wendy cheers on almost every single post on the Together We Scent page for anything, for promotions, for somebody giving themselves a pat on the back, somebody's sponsor giving their team member a pat on the back, for somebody celebrating a big win or a small win. I have to tell you, if there's one person whose name is always cheering people on, it's Wendy. And that has a positive impact on me when I see that, because I'm like, dang, I want to be more like Wendy. I want to be more like Wendy, and I'm your guys' cheerleader, right? I'm always cheering you on, but even me seeing that, I'm like, I want to be more like Wendy. She is always showing up for the community. And I love that when Tammy said support each other's success, because who you surround yourself with sets the standard for everyone. And so I'm like, that is so true. It is so true. One of my favorite lines that I've always said is never be the smartest person in any room that you're in. Never be the smartest person or smartest friend in any of your friend circles. That's not where you learn. That isn't where you grow.
Yeah.
And so having that opportunity, and my goodness, you have plenty of opportunity within this group with this many people to find circles of watch who is cheering for others on the page. That is who you want to align with. Watch who is making things happen on the page. That is who you want to align with. That is how I think I saw Laura on here. She was on my screen a bit ago, but Laura started getting on Cubicle and saying, all right, listen, I want to know how you guys are doing this. And I have a question about this. And what she's done, somebody could view it as Laura's the girl with all the questions. But I view it as Laura is wanting to know what is happening in the rooms she's not in. What is happening in the room that she is now in? And how do I surround myself with those people that are doing those things? And Laura, I commend you for that, because what it's done is show that you are wanting to be around where the things are happening. And I take note of that. And so I commend you for that. Tammy, go to that next point though, because it's one of my favorite things I've ever heard. You're muted, but it's one of my favorite things I've ever heard ever. And I want you to say it.
So I think as women, and sorry, Ryan, I don't see if you're on here. But
Ryan and Josh, they're both on.
Ryan and Josh. So maybe it's the same in the male community, but I know a lot of times we have a tendency, jealousy gets the best of us, and we tend to lash out or talk about others in other rooms. And so I was thinking about it, if we took the spin of gossiping positive, that if you want to say something about somebody, you're talking about, like, if I reach out to Mary Jane and I'm like, oh my God, I loved what Melissa said last night. Didn't it resonate with you? I mean, so positive. Or I love the way that Cassie always is so positive when she gives our news. You know, she's always celebrating everybody. She's always somebody that you can feel comfortable to go to. Now, wouldn't that change the way we look at things? Or I know I'm going to shout out Cindy. Cindy is always selling things like, oh my God, I love that Cindy is so successful, but what makes it even better is Cindy's willing to share all of the secrets and tips that makes her, that's got her there. She's not hiding. She's always willing to share. And so instead of talking negative, because maybe you might feel a little bit of jealousy or, you know, something, avoid gossiping. If you're going to gossip positive.
Yep. I love that. I love that so much. Gossip positive. And nothing shuts down gossip faster than when somebody comes to gossip with you and you turn around and give the person they want to gossip about a compliment.
Yeah.
That shuts it down pretty quickly. But then you're thinking, well, then if I shut down the gossip, then I'm not in the know. Then I don't know that what's going on. No, but if you turn around and you gossip positive, what an impact that has on mindset. It's amazing. Let's make that contagious.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Tim.
So it's all of these steps together. It's not one thing. So it's the thoughts that Melissa and I were talking about that add to it, because people are like, well, how do I get out of that mindset? You know, if I'm negative or feeling down, it's all these things that you do. It's not one thing, it's all of it. It's surrounding yourself with positivity. And so don't worry about your greatness in the future, because sometimes we get overwhelmed with the big picture, the elephant. It's the taking small bites of it. Just be great today. Don't worry about the future. If you make continuous strides each day, it will equal greatness in the future. And sometimes I see it amongst people and even myself. Too much pressure leads to frustration. If you're like, oh my God, I got to do all of these things, and then you can't get any of them done, and then you're frustrated, and then you go into that negative mindset. And so it's too much pressure. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. It's not about the big picture. It's taking one thing at a time.
Yep.
And be thankful for those little things that you do get done, and celebrate those successes. And you want to say something else?
And even tweaking one word can change your mind. So saying, I have to go to work today, as opposed to saying, I get to go to work today. Mm-hmm. I have to go to the grocery store. I get to go to the grocery store. I have to pick my kids up from school. Holy cow, I get to pick my kids up from school. Yep. I get to wake up. I have to wake up early. No, I get to wake up early.
Mhm.
That one word change, you don't even realize how that switches your mind into a better place. Little teeny tiny tweaks like that can have really, really big impacts.
And so have you ever thought, you're scrolling through Facebook and you see all of these people having these great successes? I mean, not too long ago, there was somebody that was celebrating, signed up in December, made director by January, earned the trip in 1 month. And you're like, wow, why is that not me? I do great things, but the point is this: it's not doing anything spectacular. It's doing ordinary things, but with an extraordinary amount of work and commitment. We're all capable of all of those things. It's staying persistent to do those things. There is not a single person in this, on the Facebook Zoom, on the Zoom tonight, that I would say couldn't do that.
Yep.
It is the ordinary work that you put in and the commitment that you put to do it and the consistency. Hard work is 80% of the success.
Yep.
There's not a secret recipe to getting there. It is the hard work that you put in and the consistency.
Nicole, did you want to say something with regards to this?
I did. So hearing that quote talking about I get to instead of I have to, it really, I wanted to share this with you guys based on that, because there is an officer local to us who was killed in the line of duty several years ago when his wife was pregnant with their daughter. And his quote is all over the place around here. And it says, if you stopped yourself every time you said I have to and changed it to I get to, it might change your entire experience. And it just made me think of that. And it's so true.
Yeah.
Everything you're saying is so true.
Yeah. Thank you, Nicole.
And so I also say, don't think of what others have. Think about what you have, because I guarantee you there's that person that wants what you have. And so, if you're lonely, you're dreaming of the married couple. I want somebody in my life. If you're married, sometimes you may be thinking, I want the freedom. With your business, oh, I've got all the sales. There's somebody that's wanting, the recruiting that you're able to do. There's always something. So don't think of what others have. Focus on what you do have. Don't think about your weaknesses. It's okay to be tired too when you're working your business. We're not robots. We shouldn't be able to work 24/7. Our life shouldn't focus completely around this business. It's okay to take breaks because that's what you need to. That's one of the great things that this business provides you. If you work 24/7, you're gonna get burnt out. But at the same time, if you're unproductive, it's not going to get you where you want to go. So you need to find that balance and focus on not your weaknesses, but again, little pieces to get there step by step. Think about what you're thankful for. Concentrate on these when you're down. And so if you're having a great day and you're like, oh my God, I feel really good. My hair looks good. I just had somebody call and place a random order. I got all of my mailers out on time. Write those down. So when you do feel down, you can focus on the things that you're grateful for. I'm grateful that I have a roof over my head. I got healthy children. I have the ability and the flexibility to travel as I want to. Write those things down, because I think when we're in a rut or we're feeling down in our business or ourselves, it's hard to even think of those positive things that we may take for granted. And so pay more attention to your strong points. Every single one of us, I would bet if I asked people, it's harder for them to tell us what their strong point is, but you can probably list 10 weaknesses that you have. It's human nature to think of the negative, the things that we can't do. It's much harder for us to identify with the positive things that we have. And I know we all have a whole bunch of positive things and a whole bunch of positive things that we do in this business, that we contribute to this business, that we contribute together, we sent. And so if it's hard for you to remember those things, sit and write them down. So when you're in that rut, you can look at it and you know just how damn good you are. And help each other see the positive. When you see that somebody's down, let them know that, you know what? No, you're not that person. If somebody reaches out to you, I see this in you. You may not see it, but I see this in you. And just like Melissa, mentioned, Wendy, I see this in you. I want to be more like you. Compliment when you see somebody, because it goes a long way to help build their self-esteem, and a positive self-esteem goes a long way to help your business. Your fears are actually opportunities for you to develop. I hate talking on the phone with customers, but I need to make that and use that as an opportunity to get better. And if I don't know how to, there's a whole bunch of people here I can reach out to and practice those phone calls, walking through it, whatever those fears are. And so your fears are opportunities. View them as that. It's only a way for you to get better. The one thing that I was really thinking about, and I always say this, comparison is a thief of joy. Stand out from the crowd. You were made to be different and to be you. It's so easy to get enamored by what everybody's doing because they have success and you want to do the same thing and you want to copy it. But the problem is copying kills your uniqueness. And even if you may not see the success right now, there is somebody that's out there that is looking for someone just like them and they want your uniqueness. And so make your own path. Make your own path in this business and what you want from it. You can take some ideas, but don't take it exactly. The same thing. Don't take their post and post exactly. Make it unique, make it you, because that's what people like and that's what they're looking for. What are some of the other things I wanted to say, Melissa?
Okay, so I'm gonna call some of you out. That's your favorite line I say, right? How many of you make your bed in the morning? Okay. Did you know that making your bed in the morning is the very first and most important positive thing you can do to start your day? Because you get out of bed in the morning and it is the first act that you can do that can tweak your mindset into setting your day into a positive tone. Okay, why? Well, a couple of reasons. Just off the cuff, making your bed gives you a sense of accomplishment that makes you start for starting your day, increases your productivity throughout the day, boosts your mood, and improves your sleep, which then makes you more productive. But here's my favorite part that has to do with why making your bed is important. Besides the fact that making your bed helps you check off and accomplish the first task of the day before you even leave the bedroom. Okay. But here's my favorite thing. Wait, where is it? Making your bed when you don't want to, perhaps even on a Monday gloomy morning, actually helps shape your mental discipline. While your brain and your body might want to resist making the bed, you engage your mind and bring its attention back to you being the one in control, and it helps you develop more self-discipline, which then translate to positive actions throughout the entire rest of the day. Just that one easy thing of your mind and body, or your body saying, I don't want to make my bed. Your mind overtaking that and saying, we're making the bed. You will have a noticeable difference in how you go into your days. Now, here's the other thing. If you begin to create a habit of it, and this is an easy one to create a habit for, right? It may take you 2 minutes to make your bed, but once you get on a streak of making your bed, you don't want to let yourself down and break the streak. So then that becomes a habit, and it's a positive habit for you to check off a task first thing in the morning and start your day off on the right foot. So what I'm challenging all of you to do, you non-bed makers, is tomorrow morning, I want you to make your bed. Okay? I want you to make
Hey, Melissa, Amanda wants to say something on this.
Yeah. Amanda, go for it.
Okay, so for quite a few of you, you probably don't know me, blah, blah, blah. Not the point. But for my other little teamies that do, I've had quite the medical history lately and for the last year. I was in for 10 days in the hospital this last time, and every single day, and you can laugh or you can die with me, but I was cut from my tits to my bits. I'll tell you that, all the way up and down. Every single day I got up, I got out of that bed, and I made my bed. From sheets to pillowcases to blankets. New every single day. When I left, the day that I was leaving, the entire, and I'm not joking when I say this because it about gave me a heart attack, the entire housekeeping crew came to my room and laughed and gave me flowers. They never had somebody make their own bed every single day or have so much laundry on one wall. But it still made a difference in the entire housekeeping crew that they did that. And I've never had flowers in the hospital either. So it was a huge thing for me, but it makes a huge impact because, like I've said from every single time I started this, your habit takes, as you said, 10 minutes to do. It took me about 30 to do the first day, but that habit, 10 minutes a day after 30 days will continue for the rest of your life, and it gets your blood flowing.
Yep. Yep.
That's all.
Thank you, Amanda, for sharing. And I love that mutual and reciprocal positivity, because it was contagious. She impacted the housekeeping department. The housekeeping department impacted her by bringing her flowers and calling attention to something that she just was doing. She wasn't doing it for the accolades of the housekeeping department. She was doing it for herself. So what reciprocal positivity that is. And I love that you shared that with us. Irene, I see your hand.
When I had my stroke, January 27th, I would get up. I would make myself get up every single day and work with my right arm and my right leg so I could walk again.
I love it. I love that discipline. Great job, Irene. I told you.
I made myself do it because if I would have never had no use of my right side.
Yep. Good job, Irene. Thank you for sharing. All right, I want to end on 3 notes. First note is, if you are a bed maker, but maybe you leave dishes in the sink at night and don't clean them, wash them, put them away, or put them in the dishwasher, there's your challenge. So that you can wake up in the morning without a sink full of dishes. Because if you wake up with a sink full of dishes, you're starting your day behind because you're doing yesterday's work. Okay? So you're making your bed in the morning and you are not leaving dishes in the sink or on the counter at night. Okay? There's the 2 challenges. Then I want to show you a clip, one more clip, and then Rand is going to draw our Zoom winner for tonight. Tammy, did you have anything else you wanted to say before I show the clip?
I don't think so. I think I can leave it with a quote from Dolly Parton. If you ever followed anything with Dolly Parton and seen all of the adversity that she overcame, I'm going to add a little bit to it. She says, find out who you are and do it on purpose. I would say, find out who you are and what you want your business to be and do it on purpose.
Yep.
And so.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you, Tam. All right, let's go to...
And I love this one. It's so cute.
Okay.
Look, I can be a shark. Now my whole house is great. I can do anything good. I like my school. I like anything. I like my dad. I like my cousins.
Oh, sorry.
I like my aunts. I like my Allisons. I like my moms. I like my sisters. I like my dad. I like do anything good. Better than anyone. Better than anyone.
I just love that.
This PDF right here
I
reveals
love
the
that.
exact strategy that I used to scale
Technology.
my coaching and consulting company.
Now, wouldn't that be great if we all started with affirmations like that in the morning?
We made our bed and then we stood on the counter and we did that. I love
Yes.
my whole house. My sink is empty.
Yeah.
I made my bed.
I was just gonna say you're gonna get some videos.
I hope so.
That might just make your day.
Listen to me. Nothing would make my day and nothing would be more contagious enthusiasm than seeing you tap dance in the bathroom and doing a dance in front of the mirror telling yourself how wonderful you are. We are creating a movement tonight, you guys. We are making beds and emptying sinks and dancing for each other. And I love this. And if you're not smiling and your heart isn't happy, then I'm going to have another challenge for you. And we'll talk privately. All right, Rand, you ready to draw us a name? Amanda, I love your challenge accepted. That's awesome.
Holly.
Holly.
But I need a last name.
Holly, you'll have to tell us your last name.
Williamson. Oh, perfect.
Holly Williamson.
Thank
Awesome.
you. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for showing up. That is, wait, Amanda's saying one something. One.
And she got her first new teamie today. Woo, woo.
Ooh.
See? Look at the positivity she's putting out into the world. And then she came to Zoom and then I'm telling you, it's like the Rachel Pouget effect. You put the good out into the world and then all of a sudden things just keep happening and you claim them. I love it.
I took her to a world tour in Indy and she signed up on Saturday.
That is awesome. Awesome. Claim it, Holly. That's
Thank
great.
you. Thanks.
Rand, thank you so much. You guys, thanks for being with us tonight. We appreciate you. And let's go out and let's go do some positive things.
Yeah.
Okay. Have a great night.